Okay, RPG Rules Status Effects Tutorial 4. We're going to have a quick look now at Knockback and Repel. So we'll create a Knockback effect and a Repel effect. Rules Status Repel. So Knockback, its settings, we have Strength. 100's sort of a good super strong punch, kind of knock the target around a bit. Smaller values will produce less knockback, so let's stick that with 100 strength on the red ray and have a look at it. Here we go. Let's play. Bam. You know, does pretty good knockback. But if we want, we can tick knock up. So instead of having to chase the target around, it's just going to send him flying straight into the air with the same kind of force. Boom. Like that. And if we tick knock over, then no matter how powerful we make it, it's just going to knock the target over. Just makes them fall over on the spot, really. That's handy, for example, for an ice slick, or marbles on the floor or something. It makes people fall over, or bad luck powers. You don't want to send them flying, but you want to put them into the knockback state briefly for a little bit. We'll just have a play with this number. If we take it down to 20, we will find it just knocks them over. If we take it up to, we had it at 100 before, take it up to about 50 or 60 on that scale. You then get in a sort of, bit of a more realistic level of knockback there. Not going superhuman. If, of course, we make it negative, we'll find we've made something, you guessed it, that pulls the character towards us. Oh wait, I've got knock over tick. That's what was happening there. Here we go. Oops. Yep. Get the idea. Threw that guy into a swimming pool there. Pull him out again. You know, this would be great for a beam to simulate something like a lasso or webbing or whatever, where you can sort of throw people around with it a bit. Other options we've got in knockback. We've got this local direction one. That's really just for use with the fire hydrants, to make sure they don't knock you away but just knock you along the direction of the beam. So wouldn't worry about trying to use that for power. The scaling stat, you can say this scales with health, energy or battery. I use that with 1 to start to make her punches do less knockback the less solar power she has. So that's knockback in a nutshell. You can do knock up, knock over as special cases, and you can have the knock away or knock to. So the one other thing to draw your attention to is how do you resist knockback? That test dummy, if we have a look at him in the scene, has got a test dummy buff on him, hasn't he? There we go. He's got that, I think, as a passive power test dummy buff, this one. If we want to make him resistant to knockback, we give him mass. And mass of 100% plus 100% of mass just means he's harder to knock back. So if we run that now, and I forget exactly what we'd set this to, that I think was set to knockback of 100, wasn't it? To 100, yeah. So let's try increasing his mass even more. Say he's got a mass of 500% bonus. Very, very hard to knock back. We should find that it just knocks him over now. Not even budging him at all now without a knockback. Yeah, so that's knockback. Let's have a quick look at Repel now. So Repel, unlike Knockback, doesn't put you into that falling over state. Repel just pushes you around. We've already seen that with the orange ray. The Repel settings we have velocity, whether it's dynamic or not. That means, let's have a look at the orange ray first. We can basically run around and change the direction we're pushing him in, because it's a dynamic effect. That's the orange ray is using a repel effect. Yep, and standard repel is dynamic. If we untick that, we'll find that basically when we do a repel, it just keeps moving him in that direction no matter where we are now. You know, it picks a direction and sticks with it. Repel, and we can get wherever we want now. Yeah, it's reapplying that on maintain. But yeah, that's what repel does. Repel, of course, can be negative in strength as well. We could make that velocity -5, and that will give us a tractor beam. That pulls things towards you. So if you want to have a personal gravity well, that was the case of it not being dynamic, wasn't it? Where yep, once we'd started repelling him in a particular direction, he kept on going in that direction and moved away from us. And the final setting we have is fixed direction in repel, and I can show you why that was put in there. That's for the swimming pool, actually, next to us. That when we go in here, we get a flight buff. Swimming plus 100 to flight, and we're also getting an invisible repel that pushes us upwards all the time, no matter where we are in the swimming pool. That's why I'm not sinking down to the ground. Yeah, so can't see us using that one much. Let's see what happens if we do that. We can go fixed direction. We'll make this repel him, only ever repel him upwards. This might not work great. And it may start sending him up into the air in an anti-gravity effect, it may not. Yeah, his nav mesh agent's holding him down. Try doing that on a box, maybe. Oh yeah, a bit of gravity's sort of taken over. That was interesting. Yeah, so that's repel. Basically, forwards or backwards, and whether you generally you'll want it to be dynamic for power effects. Yeah, knockback and repel. There you go.